Hey guys, I hope you're having a good day. On today's video, I'm going to make sweet and spicy pickles. So I love pickles, and I usually just buy them, but I said I can make them myself. So on today, we're going to make some sweet and spicy pickles. So there are several different ingredients, but we're going to first start out with where we have 2 chili peppers, 2 habanero peppers, and we have some fresh chopped up garlic. This is about 4 cloves, and I have my pan here heated. We're going to add a little olive oil because what we want to do is toast those peppers up, bring out the flavor. Okay, make sure your fire is not too high. And you could smell the spice, guys. So for some, you can still use the same recipe, but if you don't like spiciness, just toast your garlic. You know, don't use the peppers. But these are for my people who like spicy foods, and I'm one of them. Okay, so we're gonna toast this up, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, I'm gonna let that fry. I'm not gonna put a lid over it, and then I'm going to use this container to apply my pickles. So these are pickles that I actually bought, right? But I'm going to make my own this time around. So let's move on to the next step, guys, as these peppers cook. Hey guys, so before we move on to the next step, I want to let you know for you to purchase some mini cucumbers. They also have pickling cucumbers if you can find them, but I looked in Whole Foods and I couldn't find them, so I just got the mini cucumbers. And these are the ones that we're going to use as pickles. You can cut them into spears where, you know, you open them up and slice them, or you can leave them whole like this. So I'm going to leave mine whole. So we'll be back with the next step. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1.5 cups of water. Okay. Then we're going to add 1 cup of white vinegar. Okay. Then we're going to add, the next thing we're going to add is 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of dill weed. Give it that pickling flavor. We have 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds whole and 2 teaspoons of peppercorn whole. Drop those inside. Then we have some kosher salt. You're just going to do about, not too much. You don't want it too salty, but you need to get that because the vinegar is in there. So do like, I would say, 1/2 teaspoon. And then we're going to do some Dijon coarse ground mustard. Okay, so we're going to scoop 1, 2. Okay, and we're going to let this come to a boil. Now, remember, before we close, because we're going to put a lid on top of this so the flavors can, you know, come together. Remember, we just toasted up the peppers. So, these are the peppers. Nicely toasted. Let it get a little brown. Like I said, for the ones who just like regular, you know, sour pickles or dill pickles, you would just not use peppers. We're going to add this to it because this is our base to make our pickles. If you go in, just say, for instance, just throw this in a jar and with your cucumbers, it's not going to be flavorful. It's not going to come out the way you want it to come out. So you must do all the steps. Okay, and now we're going to stir this up. And we're going to let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it. We're going to turn it. We're not going to put the lid yet. We're going to let it come to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, we'll add the lid, turn the fire off, and let it steep so all the seasonings can marinate. And we'll be back with the next step. Okay guys, so you see it's boiling. We're going to turn the fire off, and we're going to add this lid on and let it steep. Let the marinades together, and then we're going to add this to the cucumbers. And for me, my container is plastic that I'm going to use, so I'm going to put it inside of like a bowl and let it marinate in a bowl, and then once it cool off, I can add it onto the container. Or you could use a mason jar. I have many mason jars, but my cucumbers are too long and I don't want, you know, to be squishing them. So if you have a mason jar, you could just slide them in those, like maybe 2 or 3, and then do it that way immediately, because it needs to go in hot. Okay, and we'll be back with the finishing touches. Okay guys, so I'm going to put the lid on. I turned the fire off because it was boiling, and I'm going to let it steep. And I'm deciding to change my container that I had it in because it's plastic and it'll melt. And I'm going to use these 2 mason jars. So I added 3 in each one. I had 6 cucumbers, and we're going to add it in. Okay, so let's get started. So let's do the first one. Let's pour it in. Be careful because it's hot. Hey guys, so we're done. So I took it from the pot, and from the pot I just poured it inside of this container, and I placed everything inside. Okay, so I started to use mason jars, but I changed my mind. I went back to the container, and look guys, it's all there. Now it's no longer from this place, it's from Blends of Paradise. And it's done. You shake it up. I'm gonna let it sit on the counter for just like a little bit, and then I'm gonna place it in the fridge, and by tomorrow it should be good to go. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Bye.